Most B2B SaaS founders spend thousands on ads that generate leads who never convert. And it's not because the product is bad. It's not even because the targeting is off. It's because the ad script is speaking to the wrong level of awareness. Over the past year, I've written and analyzed hundreds of ad scripts for B2B SaaS companies, and the difference between the good and the bad ones always came down to two frameworks that most founders have never heard of. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to write ad scripts that actually convert cold traffic into buyers. We are going to cover awareness stages, sophistication levels, and I will break down real B2B SaaS ad scripts so you can see exactly how this works. We are going to cover awareness stages, sophistication levels, and I will show you the real B2B SaaS ad scripts so you can see exactly how this works. Now you need to understand the buyer psychology at a deep level, specifically how aware your prospect is of their problem and your solution. Most founders make one of these two mistakes. First, they try to educate prospects who are already educated. Imagine running an ad that explains what SaaS is to a founder who has been running a SaaS company for 5 years, right? They will scroll immediately. And second, they assume too much knowledge. They pitch a demo to someone who doesn't even understand why they need your category or solution yet. Like it's that far, but they're trying to pitch a demo. The first one is too advanced and the second one is too basic. Both fail because they are mismatched to the prospect's awareness level. So today we are going to fix that. We are going to start with the foundation of all great ad scripts, research. First, you need to understand your ideal client profile. Before writing a single word, you need to answer these questions. Who is your ideal customer? You need to define the specific person who will buy from you. What does their day-to-day look like? What are their current frustrations? What outcomes are they trying to achieve? What's stopping them from achieving those outcomes right now? Let's say we are going to run a B2B SaaS ad for a customer success platform. Let's say our ICP is VP of customer success or head of customer success. You need to know all of these things in a very precise point that you can tell these things. You can tell the role, you can tell the company stage, you can tell the pain point from your mind without even thinking of it. You need to be so clear about who you are targeting. So if you are going to run ad for a customer success platform, and if you are targeting for head of customer success, you need to know which desires, which current pain points, current situations that you will use. In this case, the desire is reducing the churn, automating lifecycle communications, increasing NRR because it's customer success. But generally, for all types of ads, for all types of ideal client profiles that you want to target, you need to precisely know who you are targeting. Now, after knowing exactly who we are going to target, you need to also know their awareness level. We have 5 stages of customer awareness levels. Let's go through each one by one. The stage 1 awareness level is unaware, and your prospect doesn't even realize they have a problem. So to target these kind of people in your ads, you need to call out a pain point they recognize, introduce the problem as the cause, because they don't know if it's a problem or not. So you need to introduce the problem to them, and you need to introduce your product as the ultimate solution for that problem, because if they don't know their problem, they probably don't know your product as well. So you need to introduce your product and you need to show proof it works. Like as an example, you can read this example. It's a great example for unaware customer stage that you can use as a template in your ads. And the second awareness stage is problem aware. In this stage, people know they have a problem, but they don't know if there is a solution. And I'm not talking about your product specifically. They don't know if there is a solution to that problem generally in the world. So when writing ads for this stage, you need to point out the problem. They already know it, but you need to point out again to make sure that they are on the right angle of the same problem with you. And you need to tell a relatable story, introduce your solution, your product, and then again, you need to show social proof. Again, you can check this example to understand it in a deeper level. And the third awareness stage is solution aware. In this stage, they know a solution exists, but they don't know about your solution specifically. So they know they have a problem, they heard other products, they heard your competitors maybe in the market, and they know your competitors solves the problem they have right now, but they don't specifically know you. They didn't hear your name. So when writing ads for stage 3, you need to call out the problem desire and you need to present your specific solution. You need to be you need to emphasize you need to emphasize the second part here, because this is the main part in this stage. You need to emphasize your solution as the ultimate solution. You can maybe run some comparison ads along your competitor products and your products, but you need to emphasize this second part. And again, you need to show proof. And our fourth stage is product aware stage. And this is where most B2B SaaS companies actually sit, because most companies can't think something greater than their product features, especially if they are trying to sell high ticket. In this stage, prospects know about your product. They just aren't convinced that you are the best option in the market. So they're on the fence. They know your product, but they're not sure. So to write great ads for this stage, you need to show social proof as always. You need to maybe add guarantees. This is optional, and you need to list your benefits as well as your features. You need to focus on your benefits, because probably in this stage your competitors has the same features as you, so you need to use your benefits as well. And you need to kill your objections, because stage 4 and stage 5 are very hot. Decisions could be so quickly, so you need to kill every objections in advance that to make them book a call with you. And of course, if you can include bonuses, you can include if you are running a separate ad for this awareness stage. And our last awareness stage is the most aware stage. In this stage, they want to buy. They are looking for solutions in real time, but they are just waiting for the right moment. Maybe they are waiting for a discount. Maybe they are waiting for an urgent problem to occur to, make the decision right now. So if you are writing an ad for the stage 5, you need to create urgency. Like you need to maybe give flash sales, or you need to use limited spots like deadlines, or you can use a very specific um, event in the world, or a very specific event in prospects, in your ICPs day-to-day life, in their business life, to make the buying decision happen right now instead of delaying it. It has to be an urgent problem that they need to solve, for example, today or this week or in the next 2 weeks, that they need to solve it immediately. And you are the closest product to that, or you are the best product to that. You need to create an immediate problem, and you need to show the immediate solution to that problem in the saving stage. And of course, you can't run a stage 5 ad, a flash promotion ad, for example, to a stage 1 audience, because they don't even know why they need your product yet. And of course, you can't run a stage 5 ad to a stage 1 audience, because they will get bored. You are telling them things they already know, right? So your ad has to match their awareness level. So many ad campaigns fail because of this. Okay, now you understand the awareness levels. Let's talk about the sophistication. Sophistication is basically how many times your market heard similar claims to yours. And the more sophisticated they are, the harder they are to hook. Now, for the first sophistication level, when you write, you need to be simple, direct, and bold. Because in this sophistication level, you are first to market. Nobody has heard claims like yours, right? Like, I will show you how to reduce your sales churn by 50% in 90 days. That's it. Like, you don't need to try different things, different styles, hooks, etc., because you are first in the market. You need to gather as many people as you can with simple, direct, bold claims. But the problem is you are almost never first to a market in B2B SaaS. So let's look at what you can do in real life. And while writing, you need to enlarge your claims to its extreme. Like, you need to use superior numbers. For example, I guarantee we will reduce your SaaS churn by 60% in 9 days instead of 50%. You need to use numbers to create a superior offer, or introduce your features benefits as superiors. Now you have differentiated by taking on more risk. You don't necessarily need to take more risk by changing numbers in your offer. Like I said, you can also change your numbers in your features or benefit statements. Thanks to that, you can have a superior product without taking more risk. And our third stage is saturated market. In this market, you need to introduce a new mechanism. A mechanism is the how behind your solution. How is your product work? How your product works? Like, instead of directly making this claim, you need to say like something like this: there is a faster way to reduce churn that doesn't rely on manual outreach or generic email sequences. It's called behavioral lifecycle automations. Our product does this. A system that triggers personalized interactions based on real data. You need to explain how your product works, and you need to explain how it's different from your competition. And for stage 4, the mechanism is old. In this stage, now even the mechanism isn't new anymore because everyone has a different mechanisms in this market stage. So you need to enlarge the mechanism. You need to make it faster, easier, safer, or more guaranteed. Like it's essentially very similar to stage 2. You are just changing the numbers or changing the style of your mechanism. For example, behavioral lifecycle automation works. For example, this is your competitor's product, but it's slow to implement and hard to optimize. So we developed predictable lifecycle automation. This is your product. It is still a mechanism, but it's a better mechanism, just like stage 2. And in stage 5, it's a crazy stage. In this stage, basically the market doesn't believe anything anymore. So at this point, your market has been burned so many times they don't believe any solution works. When you are writing ads in this stage, you need to stop selling the solution and you need to start selling the identity and transformation your clients, your customers have. For example, this could be a customer statement of yours. You can use this in your ads. 3 years ago, we were bleeding cash due to 22% monthly churn. Today, we are at 3% churn and on track for a 7-figure exit. Then you can continue. If that's the transformation you want, click below and I will show you exactly how we did. Basically, you are seeing the identity and transformation here. Now, you need to understand sophistication and awareness work together. They go hand in hand. And most B2B SaaS companies are at awareness stage 4, like product awareness sophistication level stage and sophistication stage 3 or 4. So they need new mechanisms, they need better mechanisms, which means your ads should lead with social proof and results and introduce new mechanisms or approach and kill objections and also create urgency. Alright, so now you understand the frameworks, let me give you the actual writing process. Step 1 is research. You need to know your ICP, awareness level, sophistication level, and their objections. We already talked about this at the beginning of the video. Step 2 is finding the leads. You need to go where your audience hangs out. You need to look at top performing short form videos in your niche, like what they watch. You need to look at recent long form content that got traction on YouTube maybe, or maybe on Reddit. You need to check the LinkedIn posts that went viral in your niche. You need to do competitor research. You need to check their ads that have been running for months. If their ads running for months, they have a high probability of becoming winners. It's not certain. It's not certain though. They could, just left them open, but they are very likely to be winners. So you could want to test those angles. Again, no one can say an ad is winner because they are running it for months. It's not certain, but you may want to test it. And when you are checking this, you need to ask yourself, why did this work? And you need to write like hooks that stopped you from scrolling, phrases or words that resonated with you, maybe industry specific words. And you need to note the objections that they addressed, and you need to note the social proof they used in your ads. For example, are they using customer testimonials like in a written form or in a video form? You need to check everything and you need to note down which specific format they are using. And when you're writing the ad, you need to master the storytelling. You need to write your ad in a very good format that it should feel like a static image that they just scanned it. It should flow with the waves and starts with a great hook. If your ICP is less aware and if your market is less sophisticated, you can use a general hook. For example, this is the fastest way to reduce SaaS churn in 2026. But if your ICP is more aware and your market is more sophisticated, you can use direct hook. If you're losing 15% of customers every month, here is what actually causing it. The more sophisticated they are, the more specific and direct you need to be, the more ads you need to create, basically, because their pain point is so diversified. You need to also be diversified to touch those pain points and create a connection between you and the prospect, so they can feel something. they can feel the urgency, and they can eventually buy from you. And when you're writing the body, I have three principles. The first one is the more sophisticated the market, the shorter your ad should be, because they already know so many things about their problem, about the other solutions in the market, about maybe even about your product. They know even your product. So every new sentence you add to your ad is kind of a risk to make them bored of your ad and eventually and make them quit watching your ad, basically make them scroll. So your ad should be pretty concise. And the second principle I have is the less aware your market, the more you need to explain. You can understand this, it's the opposite. And the third principle I have is the more sophisticated the market, the more objections you need to kill. That's why in the awareness stage 5, most of your ads are gonna be about objections they are experiencing because they already know everything. The best thing you can do is handle the objections in the ad so they can actually book the call. And the last part of your ad is call to action. You don't need to think much about this because they already watched the video. You just need to use an action focused CTA, and you need to give some kind of benefit or some kind of reward if they take that action. For example, click below to see how the system works for your SaaS, or book a call and we will audit your current acquisition system for free, etc. etc. Now, with this video, you learned how to write ad scripts for B2B SaaS. And I'm being 100% transparent here. The ad script is only half the equation, because once someone clicks your ad, they need to land somewhere. Like they need to land the landing page. They can't land on your main website page. They need to land a landing page, a different page. And for most B2B SaaS companies, that somewhere should be a long form video that does the heavy lifting of education and pre-selling. In fact, the ad script and the video you sent them to should work as a system. The ad hooks and qualifies basically, and the video educates and converts. And we call it a VSL. So if you want to learn how to build that next piece, the video that comes after that, the VSL, I made a complete breakdown on how to write high converting VSLs for B2B SaaS. It is the natural next step after an ad, basically. That video is on the screen right now. You can click it and I will see you there. And if you don't want to do all of this work, but just take the qualified sales calls every morning in your calendar and close them, click the first link in the description and book a call with us. We will audit your acquisition channels and show you how you can scale your specific SaaS with paid ads while increasing your LTV to CAC ratio to 5 to 1. Thanks for watching and see you on the call.